So it was an end of era for Team Canada women's soccer team, losing at the World Cup. Tough match against the host Australians, 4-0, eliminating them from the contention. 1-1-1 in the prelims. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put this in perspective for a second. 20 years ago, would we be even talking about Canada winning an Olympic gold medal in women's soccer? No. Was Christine Sinclair or players like her household names across Canada, being a role model to every gender in our nation? Christine Sinclair up there with Gretzky, up there with John Beliveau, up there with Tony Gabriel, all the great heroes that we have. Hometown hero as well. She has a very dedicated fan base across Canada. You will lose every once in a while. It doesn't diminish. They've been through a lot. The pay equity problem with Soccer Canada, the lack of recognition by the American media in relation to various other games where the Americans were given every advantage to beat Canada, and half the occasions they did. They've been through a lot the last number of years. But you got to understand, the World Cup wasn't in North America this time. It was one full day away pretty much, multiple time zones away. A very tough group that we're in. But Australia and other teams got to get up for Canada. Ireland had a good game against them, despite losing 2-1. Nigeria played strong. So they were literally one game away from the next round. So where does this leave our Canadian soccer program? Well, I hope it's a rebuild. We're looking at probably the next 4 or 5 years, more recognition for the program. But the big problem is this problem with the pay equity needs to be addressed, and quickly. Christine Sinclair and other representative, the veterans on the team, have been speaking up wholeheartedly in recent months. And the fact is, they knew they kind of peaked at the Olympics, where they won in a shootout in a very, very tough game that it could have went either way. So that's a legacy that should pay off dividends for the next few years. But how many people really were following women's soccer until the glory era of this team? The women's soccer team was higher up than the men's team for years. They were drawing in the fans, and just happened the success of the Team Canada World Cup rode on the coattails of what the women did. All I know is that Olympic medalists, we've been there, top 5 challenger, have won medals. Winning the gold is one of the greatest moments I've ever covered as a sports editor. And the followers of our podcast channel gave a lot of support to Team Canada for listening to our recap of it. I was thrilled, just like Donovan Bailey in '96, just like the various winners in '84, Bauman and Davis. It ranks to me as a top 5 Olympic moment in Canadian history to see all those beautiful women of all ages, all backgrounds, and basically giving their all with the Canadian flag and seeing them sing together at the end the anthem. So they were saying carved up and stuff like that, but it's going to sting right now. But to see how far they've come, because a World Cup, there's going to be upsets, there's going to be tough games. There was no guarantee, like their offense wasn't as strong as it was just a couple of years ago at the Olympics, and it has been a long while since Sinclair is 2 years older, can't score as much, and for years it was pretty well 70% of the offense came from Sinclair, and if Sinclair didn't score or was injured in the case of this year, she had her foibles, So if you have a chance, out of respect to the team, watch all 3 games of the World Cup, probably repeated on TSN streaming services or wherever you get it. But my God, I am nothing but proud of the girls and the women on the team, what they did, and the inspiration. We're not going to see the full aspect of this. But here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. I was very fortunate to cover Olivia Merchant, one of the top female rugby teams players in Canada, during the start of her career, which was with Carlton North in the late 2000s. I made her Athlete of the Year for our my paper, The Bugle. We've come a long way. There's no questioning now in 2023 how important female athletes of all teams and designations are. And they lead the way at the Olympics. Most of our medal winners are women. So thank you, Christine Sinclair and Team Canada. Yes, you lost, but you're still heroes to us. And keep up the good work. And you're going to be motivating people for years to come because you put us on the map where we deserve to be. Have a good one.